Ahoy there! So in our last video, we left off at Muncho Lake, British Columbia. So now we're finally crossing over into the Yukon territory.
This is the Lower Laird River Bridge, elevation 1,400 feet. The milestone also says this is the only remaining suspension bridge on the Alaska Highway.
I think that's a cabin up there. Yep, check that out. Morgan and I are trying to stay away from a ton of mosquitoes. What are you doing? We had to share with you where we boondock tonight. So we are on the road just before Watson Lake. Check this out. Granted, it's rainy, it's overcast, but you know what? We're from Kodiak. We're used to this. Morgan's running away from all of the giant mosquitoes. They tend to like Larry and Morgan. They don't bug me as much, thankfully. There's hardly any cars coming by. I mean, what a good time to go on the Alcan when Haugen. There's like nobody is here. A lot of truckers still. Here's the bus. As you can see, it's really got a lot of road grime. I can't think of a better way to see the countryside than in one of these.
Now we thought we saw a lot of bear, but as things are going, the bears are getting a lot bigger. And then we figured out that's because they're not bear. They're bison, or buffalo, or tatanka, or whatever you want to call them. But we started seeing bison everywhere. That was getting really cool. And all of a sudden, the bus doesn't feel so big when you got those big bison walking around. Now, fortunately, we were there during break time. So all the bison were kind of just kicking back and relaxing. I don't know. I don't know if marijuana's legal there or what. I don't know if it was the end of the workday or what it was. But fortunately, because those bison in Canada can have a tendency to just sort of stroll out in front of your vehicle. Didn't happen to us.
See this guy that thought he was a bear when he came up, but he's a buffalo.
Here's the thing about the Yukon during the COVID thing, and I believe it's still that way now, which means when you watch this, now being the end of February 2021, it's still the same as when we were there, which is you can take as long as you want to get across Yukon, as long as it's less than 24 hours. So we had to get across now. So this is going into Watson Lake that has the signpost forest. We really wanted to do the tourist thing because there's a lot of cool stuff there. But COVID, 24 hours, off limits, time out, keep going, whatever.
Signposts, you can't go play in there. We so desperately want to, but we will next time. Wow, that's really cool.
So one interesting thing about when you cross the Yukon border, it's not like, okay, 1 minute you're in British Columbia, now you're in Yukon. It's more of a neurotic thing. Like you're in British Columbia, but now you're in Yukon. Now you're in British Columbia again. Now you're in Yukon again. Now you're in British Columbia again. And now you're finally in Yukon when you do all the paperwork for, okay, now we're in Yukon, we have to do our COVID paperwork.
So this part of the road we thought was pretty interesting because all of a sudden you see words and names spelled out in rocks. We'll slow down a couple of clips so you can actually see what we saw. It's actually pretty cool. But we did not. We felt this was a good time to show you some of the gauges as well. Now, I'm doing the filming. Larry is not driving and trying to film this, so we were safe.
How much happens to servo pressure when I shift? So I'll be able to in a second. So, as we came up with the Continental Divide, we found our first little, maybe this isn't so great setup. So, as you recall in a previous video, we changed out the residential refrigerator, 120 volt, for a different 120 volt refrigerator, and that all worked out great. Now, when the bus was built, it was built with probably a Dometic 3-way refrigerator that was an absorption refrigerator. And absorption refrigerators use ammonia and heat. That's why so many campers burn down. Okay, that's why one burned down in front of our house. Hey, George. Glad we were able to recycle the door. Pretty much the rest of it was a write-off. Anyway, the thing about having a residential refrigerator in there, the ventilation requirements for the absorption refrigerator, it had a flame in the bottom, so it had to have intake air, and then it had exhaust air where it's got an exhaust vent up on the roof. So what wound up happening, not having an absorption refrigerator, it's got airflow now, which is good, and I think it makes a lot more sense using Freon and a compressor than an absorption fridge that's got fire or extreme heat. The downside of that, the exhaust for the main engine, which is about this big, I mean, it's almost an 11-liter V8 engine. And the exhaust for the generator, which is really only about that big, but it's still a Perkins 4-cylinder engine, big enough for a tractor. We figured out we had exhaust coming in. So we decided those air intakes for the flame of the absorption refrigerator, we didn't need them, so we taped them off using the best thing in the world, Gorilla Tape. Here's your tech tip of the day. If you're a dude who's trying to be handy, or a dudette, duct tape? Nah, duct tape, that's for rookies, all right? You gotta get the Gorilla Tape. That stuff sticks, and they are not a sponsor. They're not paying me to say it, but I gotta tell you, it holds up. Okay, so what we're doing here, you can see this is no longer a propane 3-way refrigerator. It's a standard residential refrigerator. We still have all the plumbing with all the propane that we still need to get to, but as you can see, it's all vented. That's because when it had a burner in here, it needed to be vented for the alcohol burn system that used to be in here. Then up there is the other vent. Carbon monoxide detector has not gone off.
But we can smell it.
But we smell something. You know, and as you can see down here,
Especially when we're stopped.
the primary exhaust for the main engine and the primary exhaust for the generator both come out there. And since these vents face down and now it's cool in here, and it's no longer sealed off from the passenger compartment by the refrigerator that used to be there, we think gas is working its way in, or exhaust gas, yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna clean this off, and then we're going to just put some Gorilla Tape on it, which you never go on a trip without the Gorilla Tape. Yeah, Gorilla Tape, good stuff. We're doing it, Gorilla Tape is UV stabilized. All right, so this should help clean things up for us on the inside. Tape tip, always folded under, or you will never get this thing off. Just like that. There we go. Boom! And it doesn't look so white trashy by having everything on the outside. So what's the big surprise? Okay, you all like these shirts, right? Not this one. This is actually a pretty crappy shirt. This is pretty cool. And Jen was able to get it set up so that we have a Bonfire site where you guys can buy the shirts. So if you're interested, link will be down below. And I think it's going to be open until March 8th. If you do order a shirt, please let us know, because we want to know, like, how's this working out? Do we want to do shirts? You know, quality, all that stuff. So you guys are going to be the experiment, because I've already got a shirt. So if you buy a shirt, go ahead and tag us on Instagram or put it on our Facebook page, because we want to see what they look like. We want to hear from you. If you like them, let us know. If you don't like them, let us know, because we're not in the shirt business, okay? It's just because so many people said they wanted shirts. So we're going to give this a shot. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see what you look like. So just want to let you know, we really appreciate every single one of you. Yes, we live on Kodiak Island, Alaska. You're always cleaning sticks off your truck, even the truck that you almost never use. We really appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time. And please feel free to leave comments, share, subscribe, all that stuff that helps promote the channel, because there might be other people who find this entertaining or not.